Let's rock and roll!
Hey everybody, we are back again to talk about some more Final Faction. This time talking about the Aero ATV assault vehicle. So fire up your engines, let's get ready to roll out as we talk about some more Final Faction Series 2.
To protect America, Battle Force 2000 creates the battle vehicles of the future.
Nobody beats G.I. Joe's Battle Force 2000.
Skysweeper, Eliminator, Vindicator.
Nobody beats G.I. Joe's Battle Force 2000.
Dominator, Vector, and Marauder, they split and recombine into the awesome Future Fortress.
Nobody beats G.I. Joe, the real American hero.
Battle Force 2000 figures and vehicles sold separately. Collect all 6 vehicles to form the Future Fortress.
Okay, so the Aero comes in 2 separate packages, although there is a strange alternative to that I will talk about a little later. One box contains the vehicle itself, the sort of the main framework of the vehicle, while the other box contains the weapons and the armor plating. And basically you put together the framework of the Aero and then you add on the armor and weapons. Let's crack these open and put them together.
Nobody plunders Earth on my watch.
Okay, there's your chassis bagged up nicely. No instructions on the outside. So let's see how badly I can screw this up. As you can see here also, I have a backup set. That is because of my particular knack for breaking stuff when I'm putting it together or messing with it. I know that I have gotten a few comments about Shift and thinking her swords would not come out when they actually do. And I think my reluctance to pull any harder was because of my subconscious concern over breaking the actual breaking the accessories. So I think that's why I did that. If you recall in one of my earliest videos, when I was putting together the Machine & Krieger mini model, the Gachapon model, I broke part of that. If you remember the Halloween episode where I talked about the McFarlane monsters, if you remember the Hunter Steve! If you recall that, I snapped Steve's head right off when I was messing with that. And I did not disclose, but the Toy Spirit Zeus, immediately after I stopped filming for that episode, I was messing around with it and I broke the leg. So my concern over breaking stuff is not without merit. Almost broke something right there. Get my headlights on here. Little tabs. All right. Good deal. Okay, so that's basically the frame built for the Aero. Now let's go ahead and put the weapons on. Alrighty, let's see what we've got. There's a set of instructions in the weapons pack, but not in the actual frame itself, unless maybe that's just something that was missing from mine. If anybody knows otherwise, please let me know. I have a little bag of components. Peels open. Okay. Some little slots to stick the, to put the bars of the frame in. Yeah, you have to push a little harder than I would have thought to get those on there. But yeah, as you can see, it's sculpted to fit. You might have to help your kid with this, because yeah, I'm afraid they would probably, I'm afraid I'll break it, so I imagine a kid would probably fare even worse. There we go, pop that in there. But it is a nice little building project for your kid too, for your child. All right, I'm going to guess this is a piece that I should have attached after I built the, maybe not, probably should have. Yeah, I'm gonna break something, I guarantee it. Please don't break. Now I'm regretting putting those tires on. Ooh, I can pull them back off, okay. As you can see, I had to pull one of the tires off. I had to take the tires off to get this deflector piece in there. Okay. I'll probably regret putting it on again. Okay, the deflector is on, and now the piece of shielding that makes the Aero the Aero. Okay, that popped on. Looks pretty good. For a vehicle that costs basically $2 to buy, it's not too shabby. I do have a feeling that deflector piece is going to be the part that falls off most of the time when your kids are playing with them. Pop these cool dual guns on top. Got those guns plugged in. Yeah, there's some swivel there. That's cool. These 2 guns plug in here. So those 2 guns plug in the top. There's going to be some field of fire problems here when you start shooting and swiveling those guns with those other 2 guns in the way. That could be problematic. Figures fit in like so into the driver's seat. And then another character can fit on the back with these little foot pegs. Yeah, it fits on there pretty well. It's not a flawless design, but it works okay. This might be a good vehicle, again, for an army building kind of thing. Maybe have one more expensive vehicle as the anchor, and then have a fleet of support arrows backing it up. That could work. Now, the box art for the Aero shows 3 characters riding on this, but I don't see any way you can make that happen, because there doesn't appear to be actually any place, something for them to stand on. So, I mean, you can try it, but it might not work out too well. I mentioned something strange about the Aero. What I meant by that was there seems to be, and I don't really know how this works exactly. I'm not sure how this deal was made or what the deal is. If Dollar Tree is like even cheaper subsidiary of Family Dollar, there was a Family Dollar version of the Aero that came in a package with scope. I don't know what that's about or how that came about. I think some other guys have done some videos about that, but yeah, I became low-key obsessed with trying to track one of those down, and I could not. I do see that some of them are available on eBay, but most people are asking pretty exorbitant prices for them, sometimes 2 or 3 times even more than what they were on the shelf. The vehicle itself, the armor and weapons, and the scope figure in a $5 pack, which is a good deal, I won't argue that, but yeah, people are asking a ton more than what they originally paid. And keeping with my no swearing policy on my videos, I won't say too much more about that, but yeah, you guys charging those prices, you know what you can do with that. So anyway, I said I was going to mention a few quick things about the second episode. So once again, spoiler alert, I guess. Scope is featured in the second episode again, but he's the only one on the squad that is wearing specialized armor for the mission. It's in an Arctic setting, and he's the only one that's wearing like Arctic variation of his armor. Everybody else is, all the other Alpha Team characters are basically wearing their standard gear. Second episode features some new characters, 2 new hero characters, well 3 actually if you count the one character's sidekick, but there is Riptide, who features pretty heavily in the episode, and his sidekick Kraken, which is a little tiny octopus. The main thing I noticed is that he dives headfirst into Arctic waters with no helmet on. That seemed like a pretty gutsy maneuver right there. And another character that is only featured in a short scene is a character called Amari, and I don't know if that's a code name or her actual name. I don't know if Amari is a reference to some mythological character or something like that. I suppose that's the kind of thing I could probably look up. But she's only featured in a brief scene, and she mentions how she was helping out Omega Team, which I posit the idea that Omega Team is the real final faction because they're the Omega Team. Anyway. There's also the introduction of a new Karn character, Crepitus, who seems to be a variation on the standard Karn body type as well. He's a bounty hunter, I guess a bit of a Boba Fett of the Final Faction verse. And if you count his little sidekick, I guess that's yet another character. He has a little sidekick of his own, referred to as Flea. And Crepitus seems to become aware of Torn's secret that he's keeping from the rest of the team. So yeah, I think these are really good looking figures, good additions to the line. I'm glad to see Scope get his due in figure form. Some action figure representation here. Some more cool character designs and execution. The new figures match up well with the rest of the line, even if they are a little bit shinier and maybe a little bit sleeker than the rest of the team, but they still look pretty cool and work in pretty well. I like the addition of the Aero vehicle and that it's quite affordable. I'm happy to see the line expand and continue, and I hope to see more from this line. And kudos to the people behind it. I think they're doing good work and affordable work, and I definitely can appreciate that. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Sorry if this video was kind of all over the place. I did try to cover a lot of different stuff, so my apologies. Sorry about that. Again, as I always say, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I will see ya.
I go.